Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds, in the studio. It's Tuesday, and the Kansas City Royals need some life, and that is probably why they called up this young man who has been just destroying the baseball in the minors, and now he's going to get a chance to prove himself in the majors.
Young man is Jack Caglione, and this is a meteoric rise on his part. He's only been in the minors, a couple months here with Northwest Arkansas and with the Omaha Storm Chasers. Has 15 home runs. The guy's a power hitter. Was at Florida last year, All-America. One of the top players in America. And the Royals, I think, picked him number 6 overall, I think is what it was. He's big. We've seen him. Saw him down here. He's 6'5", about 250, and he can hit. Anyway, Kansas City, I think you termed that exactly right. They need some punch. Their offense is stagnant. Case in point is Sunday's 1-0 loss to the Detroit Tigers. Royals had 9 hits in the game. They're shut out on 9 hits. You can't have that. You've got to have people driven home. And they figure, well, this kid's knocking the cover off the ball down in the minor leagues. Why waste him? Let's bring him up here. So he will make his debut tonight at Busch Stadium in St. Louis when the Royals take on the Cardinals. And his name is Jack Caglione, and watch out because this kid is pretty doggone good.
He is a beast. And again, it's just if those guys could consistently have a pretty good offense, we'd have one hell of a team, I think. Well, we can talk about what they're going to be doing against the Cardinals later on. Now that Vanderbilt and Texas have been knocked out of the college baseball playoffs, who are we looking at the big dogs that's left?
Our neighbors to the south, the Arkansas Razorbacks. They are the number 3 overall seed, and they will be hosting, of course, a super regional coming up later on this week. They'll play Tennessee, which is a conference rival to them. Arkansas and Tennessee are both Southeastern Conference teams. But the Razorbacks are pretty good, and it's a best-of-3. They call it the Super Regional. That's why they call it that. It's best-of-3. 2 out of 3 wins, or maybe 2 in a row, gets that team in the College World Series up in Omaha, and that will be a big deal. But there are a host of them across the country, and I'll tell you who else is in the Super Regional. Murray State from the Missouri Valley Conference. They knocked off, I believe it was Mississippi last night. Ole Miss beat them big. Got 12 runs on them, 12-8. And now they go to the Super Regional, which is in Durham, North Carolina. And what else is in Durham, North Carolina? The host, Duke University. So it'll be Murray State versus Duke in a best-of-3, winner going to Omaha.
Should be a hell of a series there. So far, what do you think about the French Open? You having a good time watching this?
I love it. I love it because a guy who I have I'm a fan. I'm not supposed to be a fan, but I am. Novak Djokovic, 38 years old. He's won the event 3 times. He's won 24 Grand Slam events. He won his 100th match at France yesterday. He's into the quarterfinals, beat a guy, named Cameron Norrie. Jannik Sinner is also in it. Jannik Sinner is the number 1 seed and one of the world's top tennis players, if not the number 1 player in the world, but lurking in the shadows is Djokovic. Coco Gauff, also a winner, but one of the big losses was Jessica Pegula. She's not a headline name, but she's an American, seeded number 3. Jessica Pegula got knocked off by the 361st ranked player in the world.
Wow.
361. That's supposed to be a walkover. It is not. I feel sorry for her, and yet I don't feel sorry for her.
It's competition,
Jessica
baby.
Pegula's family owns the Buffalo Bills.
Oh.
And the Buffalo Sabres and everything else in Buffalo is a very wealthy family, but hey, you don't want anybody to lose.
Well, unless they're a Buffalo Bills fan. And also, I thought we established your crush on that man last week.
Novak?
Yeah.
Novak's great. It's not as much as it was with Federer, Roger Federer.
Oh, I knew you loved that guy.
But in terms of his skills and his ease on the court, and he's just a great player. He's a GOAT.
Definitely. One of the last thing I want to ask you, we're getting rain tonight in St. Louis. Is that game happening between the Cardinals and Orioles?
They'll make every effort to play it, yes.
Yeah, hopefully they do. Fingers crossed. We've got a state baseball championship on our hands, don't we?
We have the classes 1 and 2, and they will decide their championships and consolation a little bit later on today down at the U.S. Ballpark on Highway 65, a little bit north of Ozark, Missouri. It's called Ozark Mountain Stadium, and it's very nice. It is really well done. Anyway, in Class 1, you'll have St. Elizabeth against Faith Christian for the title. Faith Christian knocked out Wheatland, and that's a pretty good win for Faith Christian, which is located in Kansas City, because the Wheatland Ball Club, big and tough. and the Kansas City team beat them 4-3. And in Class 2, we'll have a championship game with Eugene taking on Miller. The Miller Cardinals have won their way into the state championship round, beating Chaffee yesterday 3-1. And then Eugene was a 6-1 winner over Tipton. Those teams will play for the championship, actually coming up. Consolation and championships coming up later on today. Tomorrow it's classes 3 and 4, and Friday and Saturday, I should say, are classes 5 and 6. So we'll have a very busy week of baseball going on down in Ozark.
Yes, sir, and hopefully they can get it out before Mr. Rain comes. In women's softball, Oklahoma has ruled the world for pretty much as long as I can remember. Have they continued to be dominant?
Until last night. And then this is a team that was the 4-time reigning national champs, had won 4 in a row, going for their 5th in a row. Maybe not quite as strong a team as they've been in the past. These things run in cycles. Well, Oklahoma had already lost 1 game. It's a double elimination. But they made it to the semifinal round last night. In other words, they're in. The winner of this one gets to play for the national championship again. Oklahoma playing Texas Tech. All righty. Texas Tech leads the game 2-0. Women's games are 7 innings. It's 2-0 going into the top of the 7th. Oklahoma is the visiting team, even though the game's in Oklahoma City. Anyway, kid from Oklahoma gets up there with a runner on base, and with 2 outs in the 7th inning, hits 1 out. A 2-run homer. Tied the game, 2-2. The fans, most of them, and they're probably 15,000 on hand. They're going nuts, rooting for Oklahoma. You know the momentum is on their side. Not so fast. Texas Tech came back in the 7th inning with 2 outs, got a base hit, got a double, and it wasn't 2 outs, it's 1 out, and a sacrifice fly that wins the game 3-2. So Texas Tech has knocked out the Oklahoma Lady Sooners, who will not now be playing for the championship.
Man, crazy. But again, just like we were talking about in the French Open, it's sports, baby. Triple Crown is coming to an end this weekend. Who are the favorites in the third jewel?
This is the Belmont Stakes, and the favorites are the Kentucky Derby winner and the Preakness winner. Now, the Kentucky Derby winner, Sovereignty, did not run in the Preakness Stakes. So, therefore, you're having the standoff coming up now at the Belmont Stakes. Sovereignty, the Derby winner, listed at 2-1. Journalism, the Preakness winner, at 8-5. And they will run the Belmont Stakes this Saturday. It's called the Belmont because it's at Belmont Park in New York, except it's not this year. It's going to be run at Saratoga Springs, about 140, 150 miles north of New York City, because Belmont Park is undergoing renovations.
Ned, you have a wonderful day and hopefully a dry one. I'll see you tomorrow.